publisher, author, and former presidential candidate Steve Forbes speaks with One America's John Hines about the creeping ideology of socialism and health care. Forbes also talked about his friend Steve Moore, who's been nominated for the Federal Reserve Board by President Trump. Here's the second part of that exclusive interview.
Socialism works until you run out of other people's money. And what that gets to is, under socialism, you don't get the creativity and the resource creation you do with free people. But when things don't work, people reach out for solutions. And where does socialism have the most appeal in this country? Among young people who, one, don't know what it is. Sounds nice, social. What do you have?
Why is that, though, among millennials? Why
because they don't know any
so
alternative. Somebody suddenly is offering something else. It's portrayed as a much nicer, humane form of capitalism.
Steve Moore has been, I don't know if he's officially been nominated to be on the Federal Reserve, but the president has announced that he would like to have him as a candidate to be on the Federal Reserve. Talk about Steve Moore, unpack that a little bit, talk about why he would be, I presumably you think he would be a good candidate to be on the Fed board. Talk about that a little bit if you can.
Steve Moore is much needed at the Federal Reserve. It's an insular institution.
Of course, he's a supply sider.
All in a bubble, all see the world the same way. So
I gather Mr. Moore is not a denizen of the Phillips curve.
Moore does not believe prosperity causes inflation. Quite the opposite. It's prosperity where you get the innovation, the productivity that lowers prices. And so I think he's badly needed an outside point of view on the Fed. They say, well, he doesn't have the proper credentials. Well, Adam Smith was not a PhD in economics. Ricardo, great economist, did not have a PhD in economics. John Stuart Mill, who wrote some great stuff on economics, did not have a PhD in economics. Let's get away from this you're not a member of the guild mentality.
Talk about the economy in the Trump administration a little bit if you can.
Well, for the first time, we've had the novel experience. This again gets to why young people have been disaffected with the system, where we're starting to feel things are moving again, not just in a stagnation way, but really starting to pep up. And the big overcloud that's holding things back is uncertainty about trade. Until business knows what the rules of the road are, you're not going to do investing, even if you don't do a lot of foreign trading. If you don't know what your suppliers' supply chains are going to be like, what prices they might charge. I hope, and I think will happen in the next few weeks, we will get a China trade deal. I think we will.
In the next few weeks, you think?
I think so, and it's needed. China, of course, would like it, but we need it too, just the uncertainty.
Give me a prediction about health care. What's going to happen?
What you're going to get now is a lot of noise, but I think where you might see some action short term is doing something on drug prices. Even though drug prices, if you look at the whole health care nut, so to speak, pie, is about 11% of the costs. But it's the one where people pay more than they do other things because it's not always covered the way it should be.
A lot of it's out of pocket.
Yes. So people think it's about 2/3 of health care costs. So I think you're going to see some movement. I don't know whether Congress will do anything, but they'll be doing something there.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.